loved one, and you know, the parents kind of are drifting, and the kids are left to fend for themselves without any real attention and supervision, and that's, you know, tragedy on top of tragedy. So the best thing society can do is to arm us on how to deal with this kind of stuff. Lori, this is where you tell me to shut up and you take over.
No, not at all. You're absolutely right. Here's the challenge. One of the biggest challenges with kids that are going through loss is a lot of times we adults want to protect them. And out of love, we shield them from talking about stuff, identifying what the issues are, and they learn from us not to say things and learn to not talk about how they're feeling or what they're going through. And loss builds up. It's cumulative. So now picture us as adults, and we've never dealt with that first loss, and we've all had the first loss or the 12th loss. And because it's built up, we're going to blow. And, you know, have you ever gotten home after a long day, lots going on, a lot in your life, and then you blow on your kids where, you know, they left the peanut butter out, and it has nothing to do with the peanut butter.
That's not the issue, right?
No, exactly. So if we can identify and work through kids' losses early on, we can help them grow up to be healthier, and which helps our community too. So that's really this peeled away to a primary level of what we're trying to do.
When Julie, when somebody goes into a hospice, is that standard procedure that you ask about family right away to see if there's kids that might need some sort of additional attention or armament to deal with stuff?
Right. We offer bereavement for 12 months post death of the family member, and if there are kids involved, then we identify them separately and try to work with them in addition to the standard bereavement practices.
I would imagine that we got to arm them with everything we can to give them a fighting chance, because as you say, it is baggage transported with you to the future anytime you fail to deal with stuff.
Better to involve kids in the process?
Yes.
Absolutely.
And this program is for, or often many of the participants are families who are not involved in hospice. So it's traumatic loss, sudden loss, unexpected.
Right, because hospice does provide the environment in which to work through this stuff if people do take full advantage. But you're right, if it's a sudden occurrence or something, and one day life is normal and the next day it's never the same again, I can imagine it just...
That's exactly right. And so we want to be able to offer for kids and their parents or grandparents, whoever their guardian is, to be able to come in for these workshops. They are one day, they're all inclusive. It's not the be all and end all of recovering from loss, but it is a good start. We give the kids an opportunity to chat, and it's amazing when kids get together with other kids, they're willing to talk.
Yeah.
A lot of these kids that have gone through the workshops say, this is the only place I've ever been able to talk about this.
And you're not just talking. I mean, you're really doing some hands-on stuff, right?
Absolutely.
And I mean, how does that help?
It's the kinesthetic stuff is...
It allows them the opportunity to express.
Thank you. From the professional, thank you very much. We start off with the kids and the parents together having pizza, which is always a good way to start. We have dogs, pet therapy dogs that come in, and those have been almost the biggest help throughout the workshop. Then the kids and the adults separate. The kids start off with a circle time where they're talking through what happened, and it's surprising how open they are. Meanwhile, Julie leads the parents in giving them tools for helping their kids cope as well as helping themselves cope. And then the kids go out and do crafts and activities and games, and sidewalk chalk is one of the most productive things. And they are overseen, each one of them, by a volunteer, many of whom are professional counselors, therapists in town, school counselors, people like that. And then we come back together at the end with the grown-ups and the kids. We release balloons. They write the name of the loved one that died, and it's surprising how cathartic that is, how healing. I'm totally taken over. Sorry.
Well, one of the things about that is, let's face it, kids are big on symbols and representations and stuff like that, and so to turn a balloon loose is saying, there goes your feelings. A lot of kids can have that moment of release, so that's pretty cool.
They feel it.
Yeah.
They do. One little girl was, the last time she put the name of the person that died on it, and her parents had said, she's going to cry if she has to let go of a balloon. It's her balloon. But instead, we prepared them, and she let it go, and we were, 5-7 seconds from after releasing it, and she just looked up and she said, "That's incredible," and everybody cheered. It was amazing.
Is there anything preparatory? Is there anything that we can say and do with kids to harden them today? I mean, that's a bad word, but I mean to emotionally prepare, even though they don't have a family member who may be about to die. Just in terms of instructions about what are we going to do with that? We've had this conversation. Mm-hmm. Our culture is so poor at dealing with this. You know, at what time are we ever going to get to the point where kids have conversations, and so it's not so traumatic because it's the circle of life sort of thing. When, you know, we go to Disney, but then we leave it at the theater.
You're absolutely right.
I think we have done, I think the kids today are more equipped. They're talking about things a lot more than my generation or the older generations ever talked about it. So they're a little bit more open.
Well, that's encouraging,
teaching them that it's okay to express their feelings, either through talking, writing, art, play therapy, any of those, is significant. I think they're doing a pretty good job. And then we're doing things like high schools for hospice and things like that.
Good. Well, that's good to hear.
Help them understand and encouraging them to be part of the dying process as well.
Whenever we can talk with kids before there's a crisis, same with adults. Get them prepped when we're not in the midst of mom's in the ICU,
right,
or somebody's just had an accident, or someone's just been diagnosed. But talk about what do you believe? What do you think happens when you die? Kids are smart, and they have that innocence, but also the intelligence that we kind of lose as we start to grow up.
There's a country song, "Live Like You Were Dying." I mean, you know, boy, that nails it, because that's probably pretty good advice for life, and it drives home the point that that's exactly what's happening.
Yep.
Because we all are. So if you've got a child, or you know of a child who's having a problem in their family because of this, what's the steering information here? Where do we go? Who do we call? How do we plug them in?
We want to have kids, have parents register. The next Kids Grief Workshop is on Sunday, and we try to have them on Sundays, so work isn't always an issue. Sunday, September 28th, starting at 11:30 to 2:30 at Children's Village, which is 40th and 38th and Powerhouse.
Yeah, Kern Road.
3801 Kern Road.
There we go.
Yeah.
Thank you. And it's free. We do ask for the parents to register. We want to make sure we have all the volunteers, we have all the pets, we have all the food, everything available for them.
Excellent.
Can kids come alone, or they need to be with their parents?
They need to be with the parents, and the parents stay the whole time. Thank you for saying that. That's huge. It's really important.
Drop your kid off at bereavement. That's that kind of tells you why there might be a problem in the first place.
Absolutely. There's a registration number, 577-5062, 577-5062, or Denise Mitzel at yvmh.org. MITZEL, Denise Mitzel.
You know, there's one last point to make. A lot of times the natural assumption is that, you know, this person's leaving and we miss them and all they brought to our life and stuff. But there is the other side of that coin, and that's the person's going that we didn't get along, that there's unresolved stuff everywhere.
Absolutely.
And, you know, that's a whole nother kettle of fish, isn't it?
It is. You're absolutely right. We don't have those perfect relationships.
You do see that a little bit more with adults or older
who've had time to build up more, you know, clashes with the other person. Yeah, with kids, it's still probably, like you said, more of a positive circumstance. But, ladies, great information. We'll put it on our Facebook for this Sunday. Actually, 28th, right? Workshop, 28th,
yep.
Next one. We'll get it up on our website and our Facebook and help spread the word that way. And we appreciate your time.